People keep saying that Jada Pickett has a medical condition for losing her hair. Yeah, this is true. It's true. It's called alopecia. Lots of women have various forms of alopecia. This is nothing astonishing. But I have a secret that I want everybody to know. Black women have had bald heads since the beginning of time, for centuries. Please look around you. Please look in the medical books. Black women have had bald heads long before other folks came up with a name for it and started calling it alopecia. We call it bald heads. This is just astonishing to me that people want to focus on her having a medical condition when she has a natural hairstyle that's a part of her ancestry. Bald heads, bald hair is a part of the African American ancestry. It's part of the African ancestry. I'm not sure why the big deal. What is it? People just keep wanting to focus on her having a bald head and a medical condition, and woe is me, life is going to end because she has a bald head and her hair is falling out. She's going back to her ancestry. It's just baffling to me. To women who are not Black or African American or African and who do not share the same ancestry, your ancestry has long flowing blonde hair to it. Or long flowing hair, let me repeat that. And that's a natural hairstyle for you. So when you go bald for whatever reason, it's astonishing. It's detrimental. It's everything. And the sad thing about it is that we as Black people have been conditioned to believe that to be bald is like a crime against nature. It's a desperate attempt to being acceptable with the populace as we with Black folks desire this long flowing hair that is really not in our ancestry. You know, this is just really, really sad right now that in order to feel desirable, to feel respected, to feel beautiful, that we feel right now that we have to have long flowing hair, hence why you have weaves now, wigs now, all kind of hair enhancements that hasn't been around for more than 10 years. People are doing it now. So now let's roll this back over to Jada Pickett here. Now, after doing some search, a little Google search of Jada Pickett, I remember her back in the 90s, and her hair was never very long. She was always known for having pixie cuts. Pixie cut is when your hair is probably no longer than 3 inches all over your head, and it was really cute on her because she's a cute person. But she had these pixie cuts, and then sometimes you would get to a little bit longer hair. 1 or 2 times you saw her with long hair down to her shoulders. I believe that to be some form of hair enhancement, again, the weave, the wig, or so forth, because I've always known her with these pixie haircuts. Every so often, you can always toss a wig on whenever you want. Also, another thing that I noticed with her is that she has, I think, more of a 3C hair pattern. If you're not familiar with 3C hair pattern, there's lots of YouTube videos on it. Please take a look at it. So, but I will say a 3C hair pattern is not the same as a 4C or 4Z hair pattern. This would be somebody like Lupita's hair, somebody like Macy Gray, Angela Davis, or Viola Davis when she wears her natural hair. The hair coil or the curl is 3 3 millimeters, maybe 6 millimeters at the largest, and that's it. It gets tangled very easily. It's hard to comb through. Jada Pickett doesn't strike me as somebody with 4Z or 4C hair. She has 3C hair, which is what I always call like a curly mop kind of hair, where the curl pattern is as big as your thumb. You can rake a comb through it real quick, and it's not that much of a problem to deal with. So again, if she's used to having this wide curl pattern, then maybe this is the reason why she's having all these hang-ups. Because women with more of an African hairstyle or an afro hairstyle, we're kind of used to our hair being short. Sure, we can let it grow long, but we're kind of used to it. And again, I think the real crux of the matter here is not that she has alopecia, it's that she's used to having what we would term good hair, being able to rake a comb through it any way she wants to, and not having that ability anymore. Also, if you notice, in her bald pictures, she has a line in the middle of her head going from ear to ear. There have been a couple of the plastic surgery bloggers. These are people who specialize in talking about celebrities with plastic surgery. A few of them are surgeons. They've also suggested that she may have had a brow lift, and that would be a scar from the brow lift. Now, if she was trying to hide that plastic surgery, it's certainly out the box now. We all see the scar. So I'm not saying she has or hasn't. That's not my forte. However, I am speaking from what I've heard from other people who do watch this type of thing. So she has a lot on her plate here, but I think alopecia is the least of it. I think that she really just doesn't want to go back to her ancestry, where you had black women that were bald in powerful positions. Look at all the people in the movie Black Panther. Tamar Braxton went bald. She looked beautiful. Probably the best bald picture of a black woman I've seen is on the Ohio Players. If you remember, old school band, the Ohio Players. They had a black woman on there, bald, and she looked beautiful and powerful, and she just oozed sexuality there. And Jada's not feeling it. I mean, you can just tell in how she walks and carries herself. She's really not feeling it. And I, again, would have to say, I believe this has to be more. She's going back to her ancestry, and she's not really accepting it. Your baldness, you need to rebirth yourself and go back to your ancestors. Because this is a natural hairstyle that we are all, as black women, born with. And I'm just tired of people not representing their blackness anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's just alopecia that's bothering Jada, or you gonna come along and ride the train with me and also suggest that she's not really digging her own blackness, considering that we as black women have a natural built-in hairstyle when we don't have hair? I look forward to reading your comments.